and Mitchell Krause has a report on something new in the television industry, which may give those people and others more of a choice of what to watch.
This performance of the movie Jaws is not coming from film or tape at a television station miles away. It's coming from just a few feet away, from a phonograph-like device connected by wire to an ordinary television set, much as those popular video games are attached. Inside is a disc that looks like an LP record. But the disc has no grooves, and its one playing side contains 30 minutes worth of picture as well as sound. The picture got there through the use of a laser beam, which is a narrow but intense beam of light. In making the record, the laser etches the surface of the metal disc with millions of bits of electronic information. Inside the playback unit is another laser that translates the pictures and sound into a TV image. The video disc system, which the manufacturer plans to test market before the end of the year, also has the capability of slow motion, fast forward, fast reverse, and stop action. And it's also possible to find any of the up to 56,000 separate frames of still picture material which can be recorded on a single disc. The Magnavox player is expected to sell for about $500, and the records will go for $10 up. But there won't be any mass distribution until next year at the earliest, and that could mean trouble for the video disc developers.
Hello everybody, this is Richard Stassi from Tinker Tales.
And me.
And we're doing another Shining video. Alright, I don't really want to name names, and I'm not trying to pick battles on other YouTubers. It's just that one of the most annoying things that I keep running across is that there's some YouTubers that would come out and post a video that would pick up like a bunch of thousands of views, and what they're trying to do is just squash the continuity differences, the possible other theories that could connect to The Shining, and they end up basically poo-pooing the fun of the hunt. I just feel that it just becomes a problem. Well, the problem that I'm running across is that you get like thousands of people that watch these videos, and they come into my videos, Miss M's videos, or any other videos, and they start like saying like, "Oh, you guys are wasting your time." And I just want to point out that we're talking about the guy that figured out how to do the lighting in Barry Lyndon. You're talking about the guy that was able to use the Steadicam, and I just feel deep down that he saw this technology right around the corner, and I think he wanted to use it in his movies. My assumption is that Stanley Kubrick incorporated this type of filming technique in The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, and Eyes Wide Shut, kind of in a sense making them a trilogy. Which brings my next Shining video. We're kind of snail walking down the hallway, and we're going to be stopping at this office. Brief summary, I just wanted to mention that my earlier video, this one that's talking about what's going on with this hallway, I was talking about the colors of the walls, the painting,
Yeah.
and the pipes.
And how very utilitarian it seems, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in this
Time
more recent video is I'm talking about the time clocks.
Mhm.
Why is there 2 time clocks in the Overlook Hotel?
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping to shed some more light to this.
I don't know. I didn't know that this video had anything to do with time clocks, but okay.
All right. I do want to point out there's 2 scenes that I missed in the last video about the time clocks. There's this scene over here where Omen is walking Jack and Wendy across the hallway, and this far corner is the time clock. It just kind of like fades in and fades out really quickly. And once again, because of this laser disc technology, the technology that we basically have today that we're able to take advantage of, I'm able to freeze the frame.
Is Owen wearing shiny pants?
Yes.
Has anybody talked about why is he wearing shiny red pants?
I think Miss M was talking about his shiny pants and
Okay,
his
good.
jacket and his. This is why she thinks there's holes in the Overlook.
Okay, I'm glad someone is on the pants.
Yes.
I'm happy not to take on the pants.
No, it's okay. And then I forgot to mention about this scene over here where Danny was running for a hiding
Yeah.
spot. All right. Now, this video we're going to talk about the Accountant Henry Callahan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry, I'm butchering names left and right.
It's such a hard name to pronounce.
And this is the accountant of Henry Callahan's office. I do want to give some credit to Ice Cream for having a post on the accountant of Henry Callahan. When we learned about the name, we were looking at the TV screen for a while to decipher it, and then I looked up online to find out that it looks like somebody else saw that name too, and therefore it kind of verified our findings. Ice Cream also pointed out that Henry Callahan happens to be a frisbee player during that time. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read this article, or otherwise this video is going to be like 3 hours long. But I will have a link posted in the description, and you can just pause the screen if you want to read the article yourself. I've done some more digging, and I came up with 2 other Henry Callahans. And once again, I'm not going to read these articles, but I will leave them up there for you guys to look at. And I will post the links in the description too for you.
Again, the whole point of all these screenshots is that you don't think that there's any significance to the name Callahan, right?
Well, I kind of believe that Henry Callahan is a very common name.
Yes, it's common.
And I would imagine that back in the early 1900s, there was probably a lot of them.
Yes.
That's my assumption. What else could it be? So, bringing up Lolita here because, believe it or not, Vivian Darkbloom is an anagram for Vladimir Nabokov.
And Vivian Darkbloom is a character in the book Lolita, correct?
Yes.
And Vladimir Nabokov is the author, and the author placed himself in the book, or his name in the book, or this name, by making his name an anagram for Vivian Darkbloom.
Yes.
All right.
I wanted to read a WikiLink article on anagrams, but it seems to be a very long one, and it dates pretty far back, hundreds of years. And I just feel that since Vivian Darkbloom is an anagram in Lolita, and therefore there should be no arguments that Stanley Kubrick would not know anything about anagrams. So we were playing around with the words, the accountant of Henry Callahan, and we came up with this anagram for it. It's Halloran can teach you, can't he?
Yes.
Which is a tag question.
Yeah, it's a tag question.
And it's also very casual. The you is definitely casual, and can't he is not.
It's informal.
It's very informal.
It's informal slang. It's written. It's normally heard, not written. But basically, if you were to say it correctly, it would be Halloran can teach you, can't he?
Yeah, and which is crazy.
Well, I don't think it has any significance.
Well, I think it has some significance because in the book The Shining, Halloran does teach Danny how to use his powers a little bit. I think it's kind of interesting for the fact that it's like it kind of tells you that maybe it's telling Danny that Halloran can teach you the abilities, can't he? And then
yeah. So what Richard didn't say, so I have to toot my own horn, is that I solved the anagram for this.
Of course you did.
And I say I solved it, and I'm using solved lightly. I just saw that Callahan, Henry Callahan seemed to sound like Halloran, I know my way around letters. I'm kind of good with anagrams, so I just tried to fill it in from there. And, I told Richard, it's probably just a coincidence. And then I looked at him and realized I had made a fatal error in what I had said, because in the Cult of Kubrick, there are no coincidences. So he just ran with it. But I don't really think it has that much significance, although I will say, so it bothered me that I couldn't spell out you and Canty, and you could almost have spelled out Halloran can teach you Danny if it was, or can't teach you Danny, but I couldn't. But then I had read some of Clockwork Orange, and in Clockwork Orange there is a lot of slang, and it's all written out. Some of it's really hard to read, and that's what it made me think of. And I was like, well, it's not like Stanley Kubrick read A Clockwork Orange, and then I remember that he directed it, so he must have read it, which I was like, duh. And then I was like, okay, maybe there is significance, but I'm not part of the Kubrick cult yet, so I still say it might be a coincidence that you can spell Halloran from this string of words.
The significance is going to go back to the point where I was asking, like, why is there 2 time clocks in the Overlook?
This is all new to me. I don't know what this has to do with time clocks.
All right. And I wanted to talk about the kitchen area, because in the kitchen area, there's that time clock right over there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this office right over here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look over here, there's the time clock right here, and there's that office right over there.
Okay, so there's a time clock outside the offices. Check.
Okay. And this office happens to be, this is a better shot for it, is the
chef's office.
Chef's office, and Halloran is the chef in the office. Now, what's very interesting is that
this appears to say authorized personnel only, right?
Yes, appears to say authorized personnel only. It doesn't say Halloran's name here, which is really, really interesting, that there would be
someone else's name. And
well, over here it would say Henry Callahan, and over here it would just say authorized personnel only.
Well, yeah.
And then on the top of the door it says
that is singular chef. It's not that the apostrophe is between the F and the S, right?
Yeah.
So that's not like it's all the chefs.
No, it's just his office. So, and the reason why I'm pointing this out is because Halloran's name is basically linked to both of these offices. He is the chef, the head chef. So this would be technically his office.
His name's not on there.
Yeah, his name's not on there. But in here, if spell out the anagram,
yes,
you'll get his name in here.
His last name.
In the office too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at both of these offices, there's windows over here as well as there's windows over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at a lot of trying to look for head chef offices from the 1950s and stuff like that, just to see if there's something I could find.
Yeah.
I did not find any such office at all. And if there is an office, it would be like if you're in a small, dinky restaurant, and it's usually
no windows or something.
No windows, and it usually would be where they keep the money and everything else there too.
Yeah, so you're looking for an office that has windows on it, is on a corner like this, because
Yeah.
Both of these offices seem to serve as some sort of observation point, like you might see a security desk like this.
That's what I'm trying to get at,
Yes.
is that these offices are definitely for observation.
Right, because normally if you have an office and you're doing a confidential work, you won't have windows, or you'll have something over it, like you always see in the movies with like the detectives and the chief of police. He has windows, but the windows are always covered.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that comes to my next point that I want to talk about, is this happens to be a nursing station or a security station in an asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, you have all these windows over here.
Yes.
Check. Okay, this is another nursing station or security station in an asylum again.
Is this an abandoned asylum, or is this like Silent Hill or something?
These are, I could just find abandoned asylum pictures, which is really weird, but that's what I'm able to find. This is another abandoned asylum. security or nursing. Once again, all these windows.
Yeah, because it has to be secure, but you also need to be
It
able
needs to be
observe.
secured, but it also needs to be windows to observe. Another nursing or security. Once again, you have all the windows here. And then I brought into some movies. This one is from One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Once again, this is a nursing observation station, and there's the window right there where she's able to look at all the mental patients. And here's her looking at the mental patients.
Yeah.
I know. This one is Panic at Needle Park. This is also a nursing station.
Is this an asylum or is this a hospital?
This is a hospital.
Okay.
So it's always a question. Like some of the asylums are like still kind of connected towards hospitals.
Right, but there's that double color on the wall too.
Yeah. And this one is from Snake Pit. Once again, this is a nursing / security observation station. On the other side of the window is all the patients where they're sleeping.
Okay.
Now, I'm not really sure what else to make out of it besides I do have some assumptions that the kitchen, I really question its existence in some ways because it has both air vents and radiators. But I'll talk about that another time. I just wanted to leave this open up so others could talk about this and see what they want to think about. I kind of believe this is either a nursing station or a security station observation. I just don't know for sure what in this area is really true.
Yeah, I just think it's odd that there's this very utilitarian area of this super fancy hotel, and I could be convinced that, the Overlook Hotel might actually be an asylum or some sort of hospital, and this might be kind of the mask coming off over here.
Yeah, I think this is part of like you said, the mask coming off, or this is part of the little peak of the mask on the side, at least in this area. I just want you guys to post in the comments what you guys think about this. And we are opening up a new can of worms about the anagrams, and there's a lot of signs in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of signs in The Shining. Like, there's the one right there about, what is it, the water cooler sign?
Yeah, it's the water cooler sign about throwing the cups in the bins. But yes,
throwing cups in the bins, and then there's the
about no eating in the kitchen.
Lots of no smoking signs, and then there's that weird sign. The make sure you have your requisitions for tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of signs that seem to be placed here and there, and I'm not going to anagram them all out.
So
today.
Maybe we'll do that later in another videos or so, or unless somebody else
Anybody else wants to jump on the anagram train.
Yes, anyone else wants to jump on the anagram train, that'd be great. Anyway, this is Richard Stashy from Tinker Tales.
And me.
And I want to say thanks a lot for watching this video, and hopefully it won't be too long for the next one.